and welcome. This is Giant Strides, a weekly program brought to you by the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, NDPHC. I am your host, Jules AK, and it's a pleasure to have you join us on this episode. Today on Giant Strides, we take a look back at the month of March, which marks the celebration of the International Women's Day, and we talk to women who are leading in Nigeria's energy sector. I started this conversation with none other than the Managing Director and CEO of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited, who is not only a woman, but also an engineer and a proud member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Jennifer Adighije. She is truly making remarkable contributions in the power and energy industry. So, join me as we listen to inspiring insights from the phenomenal women of the NDPHC, trailblazers in their own rights, who are proving that engineering isn't just a man's world. They're not only breaking barriers, but also building bridges for the next generation of women in power.
That time of the year again when we celebrate women, and the theme of this year's International Women's Day is accelerating action. It's that time of the year when we recognize our struggles and we also appreciate the achievements of women in the workspace and the work that we do in uplifting communities. And as the first female CEO of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, we appreciate Mr. President for recognizing the invaluable contributions of the women and for looking beyond the gender stereotypes and appointing us into key pivotal positions in government. And so this year, I want to use the opportunity to enjoin everyone, the women and the male folk, to continue to accelerate action as we continue to work towards renewing our commitment to the emancipation of the women fold.
I had the privilege of sitting down with a few of these dynamic women in senior management who shared heartfelt reflections on what International Women's Day means to them and how their presence at the table is reshaping the narrative in an industry historically dominated by men. Among them are not only engineers, but also lawyers, facility managers, and management professionals by training.
I am Funke Wankwo, the General Manager, Communication and Public Relations, Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited. The theme for this year is Accelerate Action, and it talks about promoting gender parity and also to encourage women and their achievements, and also to promote them wherever, whatever they do. So what we do is to organize this program. For this year, we invited a guest speaker to talk about things that will encourage women. And then, of course, she came through, both women and men were there. The reason why we also included men was so that they'll be able to know where to come in, to also encourage women and not to discriminate. We want to ensure that all of those biases against women are we don't promote it in our workplace.
My name is Ifeanyiwa Michaelogy, a married woman blessed with two beautiful daughters, a handsome husband who is in the power sector as well. At the moment, I am the acting head of legal department in Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited. Interestingly, I wasn't planning to be in the energy sector, but I met some gentleman, Mr. Anthony Moneke, on holiday as a student then from the United Kingdom. And after we had a conversation that particular day, he spoke to me in a way that I got interested in going for an interview in his office, and that was how I joined the NDPHC. But before then, I had a conditional admission with Queen Mary University for a PhD. And why that admission was given to me as a conditional admission was because they wanted me to write and do a research on an area that had to do with the third world. And what was happening then was all about energy, how to give electricity to the third world for industries, for technology, for general economic boom in the third world. I wasn't able to go on with that because I had to take up this role in NDPHC then, to work in NDPHC.
I'm from Kano State. I'm the head of insurance and risk management department, NDPHC. I joined NDPHC in 2015, but all along my career, I've been in the mainstream civil service because I've worked through all my life in Ministry of Finance, Federal Ministry of Finance. Then at a point, I was seconded to the office of the Vice President, Namadi Sambo, as the Senior Special Assistant, International Economic Relations Department, International Economic Relations. Because from where I came from, I've been working with the World Bank, IMF, and all the multinational institutions when I was in Ministry of Finance.
My name is Mrs. Nkiru Zikora. I'm an estate surveyor and valuer by profession. I head the Environment and Community Relations Department here. I'm married, as my name implies, and I have a lovely grandson.
I'm Engineer Valerie Ifweko-Agberagba, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and presently the General Manager Generation Projects in the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. If you look at the power sector, energy sector is more or less a highly intensified male-dominated area. And just like you have the biases in women taking engineering, you see that the percentages are very low. And in the past years, we didn't have up to 10% of women in the energy sector, not to talk of them being in leadership position. I mean, it was like a taboo because it was just that stereotype there. But in recent times, I mean, statistics give about 28.3% of women in the energy sector, and not just energy sector, but in leadership positions in the energy sector. So for me, I think we have made great strides. We have a woman as a commissioner in NEC. We also have a woman as the independent system operator for TCN. And I mean, these are women who are making a lot of waves. Even in the renewable energy space, we have quite a lot of them who are in the forefront of bringing renewable energy to play as for rural access to energy. So I think there's been a very great impact in women being in the energy sector. And I think also it's not because we are women, it's because with time, women have learned that I need to fight for what is mine. And when I say fight, now I mean, I know what I know, and that is where I have to be, then I must do what I have to do. I wouldn't want them to push me from my role because I'm a woman to another role that shouldn't be mine. So women have learned to stand for themselves. They've also been able to build a lot of confidence and then improve themselves in knowledge and capacity in doing what they are doing. And so it is knowledge and capacity that has put them there, not just because they are women.
My name is Jumai Abarshi Yusuf, and I'm the Acting Head of Regulatory Compliance, NDPHC. Mentoring is an important, powerful, and valuable relationship between a mentor and a mentee that offers numerous benefits to both. So it's important. But there must be that thing called interest. For someone to be mentored, the person has to show interest. So for young people coming up, aspiring, they have to show that interest that they want to be mentored, because you can't force, knowledge or whatever on someone who doesn't show interest. So for you to have a mentor, there should be, for you to have a mentor, yes, there should be a mentee.
From celebrating progress to acknowledging challenges, the women at the NDPHC speak openly about the unique pressures faced by women in the power and energy sector, from underrepresentation in technical roles to the subtle and sometimes obvious biases that still exist in leadership spaces.
Women, we are portal that bring forth. We bring forth when you want to create anything, just give it to a woman, would run with it. You know, so definitely some women see this space. I'm talking about the energy sector that is male dominated as intimidating. So most of the time they don't really want to come through to it. Even when they study engineering, some of them will rather go and do some other things. But these days we have strong women, you know, in the energy sector. We have strong engineers. For example, our chief executive officer at Niger Delta Power Holding Company Limited is a woman, and she's very strong and very dedicated, committed, and result-oriented. And she's very good at what she does.
First of all, the societal issues that girls should be doing certain things. Parental influence, because your parents want to guide you, before the fear of what a girl should do or should not do. People believe that engineers only are the ones that should be in the power sector. Others believe that it's a dangerous job. So if you have that at the back of your mind, the tendency is that you will run away because you're not involved in the STEM kind of subjects. So for young girls, most of us do not go towards the STEM courses. Instead, we go into other areas, which we see as support areas in the energy sector. To be a lawyer, you're needed in the energy sector. To be an admin person, you're needed, because without the support team in the energy sector won't be able to thrive. So everyone is needed in the energy sector. So for me, what I should say to the young ones growing up, no matter your career path, you'll be relevant, because the energy sector is diverse and we need different people from different areas of life to be in the energy sector.
The most important thing in any sector, not only power, is to have senior leadership, women as senior leaders at the top. So that's how we are going to now groom the young ones. And it's the way you carry yourself, the way you are diligent to your job and everything, it will attract them. And if you have a mentorship program with them, at least even if it's from your own home and everything like that, with sensitization, advocacy and everything, at least they will know that, okay, we are looking up to this woman, that lady, that woman, at least she's doing well, and we have to be very prudent, and integrity really matters in all these things.
Once you hear a woman being appointed, the first thing is, can she do it? How did she get it? Especially in the leadership position. Are we sure she's capable? That's always the first question people ask before they now come in to start listening to your CV and what you've been able to achieve. And oh, wow. So the stereotype is still there that a woman, before you can get to a leadership, you need to suffer, you need to have gone to beg or play some other stupid things, you know, just to be able to get to that position. Permit my language. And then secondly, when you're not talking about the energy sector, like I said, is a male-dominated area. And they have always thought they must guide this sector and make sure it is male all the way. But the women have been able to get an inroad. The energy sector bias is still there. Bullying is still there, but it's now more silent than before. Because, I mean, you put a woman in a place and say, can she do it? And sometimes you even hear your fellow women saying, that is it. I remember when I was appointed to be General Manager, Generation Project, I mean, I heard the people saying, are you sure Valerie can do it? She's a woman. It entails traveling. It entails, we're talking of generation project. We're talking of power plants and all. So the first thing people think is a woman. Oh, it's very intensive. But it's not about strength. It's about knowledge. It's about what you can do and how you can deliver what you have been assigned to do. So the bullying is still there. It's very subtle, and you see when you take decisions, they are like, is a woman. We would have done it better. But they are not looking at the fact that you, even as a woman, has more enlarged thinking to review what you're doing and even see beyond what they are not seeing. A woman gives a total review of whatever she's doing. I'm not saying this because I'm a woman, but I've seen a lot of women display that attitude, and I'm very proud of them.
Yet, despite the odds, NDPHC is taking actionable steps to create a more inclusive work environment. Policies like flexible work options for nursing mothers and leadership development programs targeted at female engineers are part of the company's broader strategies to close the gender gap.
I would like to start with policies that will encourage the girl child to come into energy profession. Policies like an initiative like having mentorship program, educational awareness program where you go into schools at a much young age to teach them that they can be able to be in the energy profession and the energy sector. And the energy sector is actually multidisciplinary. Like I am not an engineer, I'm an estate surveyor and valuer, but I'm working here. And I'm really needed here because for any infrastructure development you need an estate surveyor there. So likewise, you have lawyers, you have accountants, all these make up the energy sector.
As a woman, when I see young girls that have just joined, I draw them close, particularly if I see that these are people that have interest in what they're doing. I bring them close and I open them up to the trends, what is happening in the sector, and make them feel. I'm a woman, so I understand how, young ladies feel when they come into the environment newly, that initial shock. Yes, so I warm up to them professionally. Yes, and then, if I open up to them and let them know that you have a listening ear here. So if there's anything you need more clarification on, or you want to, have more insight, you can come up to me. So by that, I believe that they will feel accepted and they feel the warmth of the working environment.
A common thread in all the conversations was mentorship, the powerful tool that facilitates the idea that when women support women, progress becomes inevitable. These leaders are not just holding the door open, they're creating whole new corridors of opportunity.
At least in the power sector, we have a lot of women holding sensitive positions, and recently our own MD is a lady. At least that one is a good thing, and in fact, I just said we thank President Tinubu for giving us a lady. And since she started, at least most of the things have changed. At least we have a focus and we're just going online.
We need to let the men know that women have capacity. If we don't do a lot of public enlightenment to know women who have excelled, how they got there, people will still believe you got there because you are a woman. You understand what I mean? So there has to be a lot of public enlightenment for men to know, even in the workplace, when women are appointed, that it is because she's qualified, because she has the capacity, because she can do it better than whoever was there before. And that is why she got the appointment. Secondly, even in the workplace, I believe women need to prove themselves. I mean, if I prove myself in my job, the next person who wanted to criticize me will know, oh, Valerie is doing very well. I didn't know she could do it, right? I mean, things like that come up. So for me, that has to be there. And then there should be more programs where I think even the media doesn't project women as much as, because you see when you are talking about energy, you look at 10 people being interviewed, you can see just one woman in the midst of it. So the media has not done much in projecting women who have really excelled. So I believe we should have a lot of public enlightenment. I think this was what made the UK have to have these women on the grid, showcasing women what they are doing and how they are doing well. And they also have women in the energy sector. So a lot of things are coming up because people want to be known for their capacity and capability.
I'll be surprised if any young girl coming into the energy sector will be intimidated, because in the first place, she would have gone through the four walls of the university, and she would have met with her male counterparts. So I would be surprised if she comes into this sector intimidated. I wouldn't expect her to be intimidated. But if there's that situation where you come in and you feel that the sector is male-dominated, I would say that you shouldn't allow your gender hinder you from achieving your goal or being who you want to be. So basically, for a girl who wants to come in here, intimidation should not be it. You should rule that out from day one.
They also shared inspiring ideas on policies and initiatives that can attract more females into the energy space through school outreach programs, hands-on technical workshops, and visible representation in leadership.
Will encourage women to come into this space, and they will know that there's nothing that a man can do that a woman cannot do, even better, so this is a sort of encouragement. So I just want to encourage any young person that is looking at coming to the space to know that the space is for her to take. So it's just for them to be good at what they're doing, and then the sky, they say, is the limit, but it's the starting point actually for people that know where they're going.
We should be able to encourage our girl child that the stereotype that we have, that a girl child is supposed to be in the nursing profession, in the education profession, that being in the field is not meant for women. We should have such educational initiatives to quell such stereotypes. Then we also need capacity building for those that are already in the profession, in the sector, to know how to carry out their duties more, encourage them to work effectively in that profession. And in the energy sector, is more of a male-dominated area. And so when we have this capacity building, not because we women are not capable, okay, but to give us a little bit of leeway to be able to work effectively. Another policy I would like is something to do with leadership trainings. Encourage women to go into leadership training so that they will be able to train. And most importantly, the one I don't want to forget, is having a work relationship, a work atmosphere that encourages women to come. I want to bring this out in effect. Like a woman gives birth, she's pregnant. If you don't have a work area where she's comfortable, or even have like remote stroke physical work atmosphere where in her pregnancy she's not able to come out, she can work from home and not lose. All these things will encourage a woman. Or she gives birth, she's nursing. Sometimes here they close by 4. If you make these policies and initiatives available, the woman will thrive, and it will encourage the leadership, women coming up to leadership position. And also, we don't want to be relegated to the office. The same stereotype. She's a woman. She can't go to the field. She can't survive the field. No, we go to the field. We survive the field. So don't give us special treatments that we are women. Allow us to work as our counterparts, the men.
Build your confidence. That means be confident. Once you are confident, you can overcome any challenge and any obstacle that comes your way. Once you are confident on your knowledge and your capability, nobody can stop you.
So as we wrap up this special feature, one thing is absolutely clear. The future of power is not just about electricity. It's about equity, access, and the strength that comes from diversity in leadership. A big thank you to all the women in the NDPHC who were part of today's episode. Thank you for sharing your journey and struggles. It was both insightful and inspiring. And now to every young girl watching, there is space for you in this industry, and it requires hard work. You belong in the control rooms, in the boardrooms, and at the forefront of innovation. The power sector is evolving, so just remember, if you can dream it, you can become it. And until next time, I'm your host, Jules AK. Thank you for joining us today on Giant Strides.